Hey, I'm Jamey from Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in the game Pueblo, which I played with 3 other players the other day. This is my first time playing Pueblo, and I will show it to you. This is an older version, I think, than the one that I played. I played a very, very new version of the game that uses wooden pieces. This version looks like it has plastic pieces. But this is a game about block placement, polyomino block placement, and perspective. I really like when games give you quick, simple decisions to make on your turn that have deep implications. And Pueblo, I think, does this really well through the 2 things that you do on your turn. The first thing you do is you place a block on the board. You're either placing, in the version I played, they were white blocks. Here, it looks like they're beige. You're placing a beige block, or you're placing a colored block in your player color. So you're doing that first, placing one block. The other thing you're doing after that is that you are moving the eagle token. Ours actually looked like an eagle. You're moving the eagle token up to 4 spaces. And then you are looking from the eagle's perspective at a row of blocks, or one other thing, but most often a row of blocks. So for example, if I move the eagle to stop right here, I'm looking at this row of blocks. I'm looking at what the eagle can see from that perspective. In this case, it is a purple square at level 1, so that's 1 point. And then there's a blue square at level 2, so that's 2 points. And here's another purple square at level 3, that's 3 points. If there's anything else anywhere throughout here, these are all happen to be like really close to the eagle, but it could be pretty far down the line as long as the eagle can see it from that perspective. The white blocks, the beige blocks here, are blocking these other blocks. That's a good thing. You're blocking them because even though I've said these are points, in this game, you don't want points. You're trying to have the fewest points. You don't want the eagle to see your blocks. And so the choice here, you have these 2 interesting choices. You're placing a block so that ideally the eagle can't see your block, and then you're moving the eagle so it looks at the blocks of the other players, ideally not your own block. I love this juxtaposition here and how these 2 choices are tied to one another, that you're placing blocks and you're moving the eagle to essentially penalize your opponents, but that is the name of the game in this case. The one other little twist here, or actually 2 other little twists, is that when you move the eagle to these corner spaces, the eagle looks down at the quadrant. So the eagle's perspective becomes one of looking from above at the quadrant below, looking at each visible square that it can see. So that changes everything too, where you're not just looking at the side view, you're instead looking at the bird's eye view, as it were. The one last twist is, with all these little decisions that you're making during the game, at the end of the game, the eagle is going to look at everything. So the eagle is going to look at every row, every column, and every quadrant. And so no matter how you position the eagle during the game, over the course of the game, the eagle will see the final results at the end of the game. And so that's where your block placement really comes into play. At that point, you don't have control over what the eagle sees. Rather, it's just how you positioned your blocks during the game. So I mean, my favorite mechanism is the core mechanism in the game, which is what you're doing on your turn, placing a block, moving the eagle. But I really like how those 2 decision points tie together. And I love the perspective idea. I love games that make you use your eyes for I guess your perspective in a way. In this case, it's the eagle's perspective. But I really like that you were looking at something from a very specific angle and determining what you can see from that perspective. I really like that about Pueblo. So yeah, those are my favorite mechanisms in the game. If you can think of another game that uses this element of perspective, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Yeah, or if you have a different favorite mechanism in Pueblo, let me know about that as well. Thanks.